We are talking about how to build muscle, build and maintain muscle as a vegan. And what we're going to do today, I'm going to give you a few components of this talk. I'm going to share with you how I did it. And first of all, Anne says she's driving. Okay, I'm gonna share how I did it. And my answer usually when somebody asks, oh, how did you build muscle as a vegan? I usually say, it's kind of irrelevant. And I'll explain why I say that later. And after I share, you'll kind of understand why. But I'm gonna share with you anyway. And I'm gonna then talk about how we approach building muscle and our physique in the 6-month plant-empowered coaching program. And then I'm going to give you some solid guidelines and important tips that will help you on your journey to building and maintaining lean muscle as a vegan. And we're going to talk about working out, diet, and recovery. And then I'm going to tell you all about some next steps you can take if you want to really take things to the next level. All right, so my journey, 5 years old, I was in gymnastics and swimming. I got into dance pretty early. So as you know, gymnastics is one of the most powerful sports for a young person, especially a young woman, to build muscle, because it's all body weight, right? We pull-ups and push-ups and flipping and going, we do so much strength training as a gymnast. And so I did that from the age of 5, kind of on and off. I was competitive. I was good. I was all right. I wasn't fantastic. I was no Olympic athlete, but I did that for many, many years, probably on and off till I was about 12 or 13, at which point I had a growth spurt and I grew and my body started to hurt and I had shin splints all the time and hip flexor issues and knee issues as a very young person. So I switched over to volleyball. I started playing volleyball. I was a setter on the high school team. But in the meantime, I had also done swimming for many, many years on a summer league. My stroke was the butterfly stroke, which of course was the one that took the most strength. But because I was also into gymnastics, that gave me a huge advantage. So really all body weight stuff growing up until I hit college. So out of high school, I went into college, and mind you, I had been vegetarian since the age of 7, and I turned vegan at 15. So it was all for ethical reasons. And so by the time I was 15, I had already built all the muscle that I had at that point, and I went through all those sports, all those years on plant protein alone. So after high school, I went into college, and that's when I started at the gym and started lifting weights. And I did get into lifting heavy weight, and I did that for many, many years. I'd say about 10, maybe on and off for 10 years, lifting really heavy weights, at the same time doing a lot of Thai boxing. That was my sport of choice, you could call it. So Thai boxing, I did cardio. For some of you who don't know, I had a disordered eating issue for the majority of my adult life. And that's what the plant-empowered coaching program really focuses on, not only helping people really start to eat in an empowered way, and obviously transitioning to a vegan lifestyle, doing it in a healthy way, but also really building a healthy relationship with food and your body. Because I did not have that healthy relationship, but I sure knew how to get the body that I wanted. And I did that in large part because I put a lot of pressure on myself, because I wanted to have this great physique so people could ask me, what did you do? And I'd be able to tell them I'm vegan, and kind of break those stereotypes of what vegans are. And especially, 10, 15, 20 years ago, what that vision of what a vegan was. How long have you guys been vegan, and what did you think of vegans before you went vegan? Or if you're not vegan yet, what was those stereotypes that you saw? I'm curious to know what you thought, but people thought they were scrawny and smelly. So I was out to break all those stereotypes. So I did a lot of heavy lifting, a lot of Thai boxing. And it wasn't until about 5 years ago that I really got into more body weight again, calisthenics. And from then I've just really been maintaining muscle as opposed to wanting to build it. So I've been able to do that with some heavy lifting, not a whole lot, but a lot of calisthenics, a lot of strength training, but a lot of body weight training, you know, TRX. I would go to the track workouts, do stairs, lots of still boxing. And now I'm skill building, and we'll talk about that in a few. Marcy said, I've been vegan for 6 years. Awesome. Lisa said, very much so. Got it. Awesome. Okay, so that's just kind of how I built my physique. Of course, I was doing it on living a vegan lifestyle as well. And nutrition was really dialed in for the most part all of those years. Anne said she's been 9 years vegan. Yes, lacto-vegetarian, pescatarian for 6 years before that. Awesome. I remember those years, Anne. So, and we'll talk about nutrition too. I was pretty strict, but then I had that restriction and then the binges. And I went through that disordered eating for a very long time. And that's something that most of us experience to some degree, some more than others. And that's something that we really work on as part of the Plant Empowered Coaching Program as well. Alyssa knows because she has gone through the program too, and she's in our follow-up program, The Game Changers. Welcome, Alyssa. I love you guys. You guys come and support and hang out with me. It's awesome. All right, so let's talk about how we approach this in the Plant Empowered Coaching Program, because our main goal is to see working out as something that we do because we love ourselves and we love and respect our bodies as our bodies are right now, as a prerequisite for changing it and changing it in a sustainable way. So what I'm done with is the ups and downs, the yo-yos, the dieting, the working out so hard you get injured but get the body that you want, only to know that it's unsustainable, and then you lose it and you gain the weight back, and then you're super unhappy and none of your clothes fit again. And so then you start the process all over again. Oh, what's my next diet? I'm gonna do this. Oh, all protein, no carbs. I'm gonna feel like shit. I'm gonna have no energy, but I'm gonna do it because I have willpower and I've got discipline, and I'm gonna make it happen because I want that perfect body, and then I'll be happy. I'll be happy once I get that perfect body. Right? That's not where happiness comes from. And you guys know that, right? When we say, I want a kick-ass body, a lot of the times it's because we think that getting that body will bring us happiness. That's not the case. We think it's a perfect body that's bringing us happiness. Happiness is already inside us. We just have to know how to access it. And once we access it and are able to get happy and love ourselves just as we are, then we can start making choices, consistent choices that we can, that'll be sustainable. We can create a fitness routine that we love, that's enjoyable to us, and that we do because we want to gain skills, we want to gain strength, we want to feel good, we want to be fit and healthy for a lifetime. And if that for some people, and I've worked with a lot of ex-competitors, I was a competitor just once to check it off my bucket list. I did win first place in the bikini division of the Fame World Championships. I got second place in the fitness and fitness modeling categories. So I wanted to prove, this was back in 2007, I wanted to prove you could do it as a vegan, because vegans were not doing it back then. I didn't know any, at least. So it is completely possible, but I just want us to build a foundation here that we're doing this, that we're building this muscle because we care and respect and accept and love ourselves as we are. And so we want the best for ourselves. We want the best for our bodies. So that's our foundation, and that's how we do it. So in the Plant Empowered Coaching Program, we make sure everybody has all the information, all the education they need about the different types of workouts, about nutrition, about sports nutrition, in addition to just being a healthy human being nutrition. And then once you're there, once you have all that education and you have that foundation of self-love, then you can really make it fun, and you can make it about achieving goals, and it can be sustainable. Okay, so that being said, let's get into some guidelines. Does that make sense, you guys? I want to make sure that, because this group is very different, we approach things very differently than a lot of the other body fitness, bodybuilding groups that really just focus on the nutrition and the fitness and the workouts and what did you do. And the thing is, everybody's body is unique. People build muscle at different rates. Some people build muscle really easily. Some people need to really work harder than others, just like some people lose weight easy and other people have a really tough time. Hey, Johnny at Sobe Kick. So totally, Marcy says totally, good. Susie, yes, awesome. Awesome, I wanna make sure that that's clear because that's the foundation we use in the Empowered Vegan Life group. This is not a diet and weight loss group. This is a group where we get to make choices, conscious and mindful choices about what we put in our bodies and how we move our bodies and just how we operate through the world in a way that is based in self-love, which allows you to open up love for everyone and everything else around you as well, and to take care of yourself, okay? So let's get to those guidelines. So first of all, working out. Let's get to the easy part. And this stuff is the easy part. You guys, this is so much easier than the emotional work that we do and the self-coaching system that we teach to help you work through the emotions and get through times where you want to be emotionally eating and the yo-yo dieting and all of that. That's the tough work. This is the easy fun stuff once you get that stuff down. So this is all kind of peaches and cream here. So working out. If you are wanting to build muscle, you need to strength train. So what does that mean? That means you need to train in a way that your muscles get sore. Sore means your muscles are, that you've done your job. What happens when you're building muscle, when you're working out, lifting heavier weights or doing body weight exercises that are really challenging to your muscles, you're basically creating little micro tears in the muscle fibers. And so what has to happen is that we have to rebuild those tears in the tissue. And when you rebuild, that's when you're building more lean muscle, okay? So we have to break those muscles down in order to build them up bigger and stronger. Does that make sense? So recovery, and why we're going to talk about recovery, is so super important, just as important as working out super hard. So lifting heavy weights, doing body weight exercises, and especially upper body weight exercises, because for most of us females, pull-ups really tough. You know, they're tough for me. I've been doing them on and off for my whole life, and they're one of the toughest exercises. I've got a goal right now of 10. I've got 8 in a row right now, and I'm talking perfect form pull-ups. I like to do it calisthenic style as opposed to CrossFit style with the kipping. So push-ups. Which of you guys can do a pull-up? Which of you who can do a full push-up, a perfect form, chest all the way to the ground, all the way back up, perfect form push-up? Because a lot of females can't, and that's okay. But what a great empowering exercise to focus on for working chest and triceps is a push-up, and it's also functional. So just because you're strength training doesn't necessarily mean you have to be in the gym with big heavy weights, sitting on a bench, doing the traditional bodybuilding type of workout, which I did for many years. And it works. It works aesthetically. It will build muscle, but it's also not very functional in terms of working your core. So when we're doing the body weight and calisthenic type exercises, or we're lifting heavy weights, but having our back on a stability ball, or doing things from a plank position, that way you are working your core at the same time. So we can get efficient with these exercises, but it has to be challenging. Doing the little weights, the 2-pound weights, 3-pound weights, 5-pound weights, doing those for an hour, great exercise, don't get me wrong. If that's what you're doing, that's wonderful. I'm not saying stop it, but it's not going to help you build lean muscle. It is not going to get you muscles that are going to be toned and formed and increased in size, right? It's going to keep you fit. So we have to look at your goals. I assume you're here listening to this because you do want to gain muscle. So we do need to do heavier weights. Anne said, awesome, I did one unassisted chin up. That's my next goal, is to do more. Yes, Anne. Oh, you've been working on that. I remember you've been working on that a while. So that's awesome. And that's the fun part, you guys. And that's what I like to do with in my program, is to get a baseline of exercises that you want to improve at. Because then when we're doing it more than, okay, I want to lose weight, right? Forget the number on the scale. Let's get strong, right? Because when we get strong, when we're lifting those heavy weights and loving ourselves for doing it, then we're also able to be consistent, number one. But we're also having fun. You know, we're like reaching goals, we're building skills, and it gives us such a feeling of empowerment to be able to do that. So I have my people in my program do is create a baseline of exercises. Okay, let's see how many pull-ups I can do, how many full good form push-ups I can do. Maybe I can do 5 on my knees, right? What's my goal? I want to do 5 off my knees, right? So having that goal and then setting up a routine based around those goals can be an awesome way to make this something that you feel motivated, not because of willpower, but because it's part of your journey, it's part of your life. Squats, lunges, those are great functional exercises. Those are probably ones that you'll need to add weight to, right? So maybe you are doing it with a 45-pound bar on your back, right? And you can do 10. But let's add some weight. Let's do 20. I know Anne hadn't been lifting for a while, right? She said, I can do really heavy squats, deadlifts, etc., but upper body is slacking a little. And that's the case for a lot of women, right? So we have to put it in. I remember, you know, I was a trainer, you guys, for over 12 years. So I remember making Anne do push-ups, and you hated push-ups, Anne. How are you doing on the push-ups? Most women, we just haven't practiced a lot with our upper body. So it's challenging, but what an empowering feeling to get there. So we have to lift heavy, whether that is body weight or with weights, in order to gain lean muscle. If you do not get sore the next day, you know you didn't go heavy enough. I'm not talking about if you have an injury here, that's an exception, of course, but injury-free here, you need to be sore the next day. That's how you know your body's changing. So forget the lower reps with the lighter weight. Go heavier reps, heavier weight, less reps. Does that make sense, you guys? And that's where it comes down to. And you can absolutely mix in other types of exercise there, but doing the weights so that parts of your body are sore pretty much every day of the week is totally fine. You don't want to work the same muscle that's sore until it's recovered. So if you do upper body one day, lower body the next day, you could do it that way. You could do a push-pull routine, which means you do exercises where you're pushing, so like push-ups, and then I'll follow it with exercises that you're pulling, like rows and pull-ups. You could do those on the same day and go back to back. So push-ups, pull-ups, push-up, pull-ups. Because you're working opposite muscle groups, you'll need less rest in between each set. Does that make sense? Another way you could do it is do, arms one day, bis and tris. You can do legs and shoulders another day. You can do back one day, right? But you just don't want to work back again specifically until your back has had time to recover. And we're going to talk about recovery in a few minutes. Hey, Jody. Yay, you joined us. Awesome, you guys. And I don't think I'm seeing all the comments. So if I miss you, I am really sorry. I'll come back to you. All right, so food. Let's go into the food. If you have any questions as I go through this, hopefully I'll be able to see them, but go ahead and type them in the box. I'll be happy to answer them. Food, healthiest way. First of all, whole foods. Eating a wide variety of whole plant foods that includes a lot of legumes. Why legumes? Because they are packed with plant protein. They're packed with protein, they're packed with fiber, and they're packed with complex carbohydrates, all of which are going to help you build and maintain muscle. I'm a chickpeaholic. Most of you know that by now, but all beans, chickpeas, black beans, lentils, mung beans, soybeans, you know, edamame out when you go to the restaurant. I'm going to tell you how easy it is. And do you guys still wonder about protein, like how much protein you're supposed to get? Because again, this looks a little different for everybody in terms of how much your body needs to really build that muscle, for those of you who build muscle easier versus those of you who have more trouble building protein. I'm going to tell you, I wrote this down. This is part of the Plant Powered Coaching Program, but I'm going to read this out, a day's worth of food. It's not a lot. And I want you to guess how many grams of protein are in this meal. All right, so for breakfast, oatmeal, 1 cup cooked oatmeal, 1 cup flax milk, 1 tablespoon hemp seeds, and 7 walnuts. That's the oatmeal. A snack post-workout, a simple Power Roots nutritional superfood shake with 12 ounces of unsweetened nut milk and 1 serving of nutritional powder. Easy. Something that you can shake up right after you get out of your workout. Midday, a salad with 1 cup of spinach, half a tomato, half a cup garbanzo beans, half a cup of lentils, half an avocado, and 3 tablespoons unhulled sesame seeds. Okay, simple salad. And dinner, go out to a sushi restaurant. You're gonna eat 1 cup of edamame and 1 vegetable roll with brown rice. That's it. That's your whole dinner, or your whole day's worth of food. How many grams of protein do you think that has, you guys? Any guesses? And I'll wait a second because there's a delay. A lot of people are surprised. And by the way, I do have a link to that one nutritional shake in the pinned post, because it's the one I'll eat. I don't usually eat protein shakes at all anymore. I do all superfoods, whole food shakes, but if I get something or have one to recommend, it's definitely that one. All right, Anne guessed 100 grams of protein. You're pretty educated now. Maggie said 80, Judy 85. Anne says love Power Roots, absolutely, my fave. All right, you guys were really close. It is about 85 grams of protein. And just so you know, this menu, that what I just said, also provides you with 110% of the recommended daily allowance of iron, 100% of calcium, and 161% of the RDA of fiber. So pretty cool, right? And not a huge amount of food. Jill, you're spot on, 85. Jody said 60. Yeah, awesome. Jill's been through my program, obviously. Anne's known me a long time. So, Jill, did you actually remember that from the program, or did you just totally get that guess right now? I'm curious. All right, so easy, and that's almost all whole foods with 1 scoop of this nutritional powder. And post-workout, another question that a lot of people have, post-workout. It's great to get in protein and complex carbs. Those are the 2 most important macros to get in. And of course, when I talk about macros, you know, in my program, we don't count macros. We learn to eat intuitively. I don't count macros. I did it for years. I eat intuitively now. And when I feel like I'm getting weak, I go train harder. And I eat more protein. And I don't need to follow a diet plan. I don't need to spend my precious time and energy logging things into my Fitness Pal. What better things? I have so many better things to do, right? Than spend my time and energy doing that. I've got so many goals. I've got a purpose in life, and it is not tracking macros. So that's what I want to teach you guys. That's what I teach in the Plant Powered Coaching Program, to get to that place where food is just a fun part of your life, right? A fuel. It's something that we celebrate, and something that we can, you know, eat without stressing. So let's see, I made a few notes here. Oh, so after workout, examples, for me, I eat chickpeas all the time. So chickpeas are a great example because they're packed just in a chickpea is protein and complex carbohydrates. But like having that nutritional shake with, blending it with a banana. Banana is great. Maggie asked, if you're working out a lot and eating a lot but still hungry, do I need more protein? It's very possible. For me, when I feel like I'm not getting, when I'm feeling hungry, legumes really do it for me. But again, this is for me, Maggie. So experiment a little. Do you eat a lot of legumes as it is? Because another thing is if you're transitioning from not eating a lot of legumes to eating legumes, do it slowly because we got to change the gut bacteria and we don't want to get bloated, which will happen if you do it quickly. So legumes, my salad, you guys, I've posted this a million times. What I eat for breakfast these days, and I pretty much eat it most days, is a big bowl of chickpeas with sprouts, with microgreen sprouts, and avocado, and sometimes some tomatoes, sometimes some hearts of palm or black olives, with a little bit of olive oil and herb mare seasoning, which I put on everything. It's like my little secret trick to seasoning anything and everything. It's just a seasoning salt that you can get at Whole Foods or Amazon. I eat this little bowl of chickpeas, and sometimes I don't work out till 11 or 12 o'clock, and I'm eating that at 7 a.m. And I am fueled, you guys, all the way from eating that at 7 a.m. to 1:30 in the afternoon, and fueled, not hungry one little bit. Another important tip, why I couldn't do that in the past is because I would eat fast. And I have learned the importance of mindful eating. Another thing that we talk about in the program. It is so important to chew your food to a pace before you swallow it. It slows you down. Digestion starts in the mouth when you're chewing. Your saliva has enzymes. So if you're skipping that part, you're skipping a part of the digestive process. You'll know when you're full. You'll know better when to stop because you're eating slowly. It's basically like creating a smoothie out of food in your mouth and swallowing it. So you might as well be eating a whole food smoothie when you really do it like I recommend it. And it really changed my life when I learned to eat mindfully. Jill, did that happen for you? For those of you who don't know, Jill's been through the program, or she's just wrapping up in the program. She'll be around a lot because she's becoming a mentor. She's awesome, awesome, awesome. So Maggie, you don't eat a lot of beans now. Start working them in more. Do you like chickpeas, lentils, black beans? I think Ann mentioned another type of bean, but I don't see it now. Jill said yes, absolutely. Yeah, that mindful eating thing it seems something that seems small that is life changing. And it's tough. It's tough to remember, right? Maggie said, have you heard of 22 days nutritional protein shakes? Do you recommend them? Yes, Marco Borges is the owner of that. He's the trainer of Jay-Z and Beyonce. I know him well. I actually worked with him for a little bit, and he's awesome. His products are awesome. So yes, that's a good one. I don't like it personally as much as the Power Roots. And the other cool thing about the Power Roots is that not only does it taste more like whole foods, the peanut butter is my favorite, but it also has tons of great things in it besides protein. And it has what's called pteromin clay, which is minerals that are literally from the earth. So it's got these minerals, it's got probiotics, it's got all sorts of really great stuff for you. So it makes it not only a protein shake, but also a nutritional shake. And why not, right? If we're gonna have a shake, we might as well throw in those minerals and probiotics and all that good stuff too. Maggie said you supplement with the 22 days protein shake. Great, awesome. It's just such a great way to get in an extra 20 grams of protein, right? Easily. And if you're using a quality protein, really important to use a quality protein. Avoid isolates. So if a protein says soy protein isolate, avoid that one. Maggie said, sounds awesome, I'll try it. Yeah, if you like peanut butter, and you can make peanut butter nice cream out of that protein shake. You can put it in oatmeal and it tastes good. And I'm very, very picky with that stuff. Anything fake or protein powdery type stuff. I don't like it. I like the real thing. But that one is my favorite. Will this be replayed? Yes, Tiffany. It's being recorded, and if you go to the videos tab afterwards, you'll be able to see it. And the protein shake is called Power Roots, and there's a link to it in the pinned post in the Empowered Vegan Life group. So up at the very top, if you read through that post, there's a link where you can go right to that page. It's a great one. And Lisa, I'll have to tag her. She's the founder, the creator, the owner of that company. She's also a member of our Empowered Vegan Life group. She's awesome. She lives in Temecula, California. I've been able to visit her a couple times. She's fantastic. So just a reminder about after workout, having that protein plus the carbs, protein plus carbs. Banana is awesome because it's got so much potassium, which is helpful in recovery as well. All right, and so recovery, last component we'll talk about today. And if you guys have like a specific topic, I know I'm covering a lot here today, but if you have something specific that you'd like me to dive deeper into on another Facebook Live, write it in the comments and I'll do a Facebook Live that dives deeper into more specific topics because I'm trying to get through a lot of information today. So just real quick on recovery, and then we'll wrap it up. Rest. You know, my body broke down, guys. I was lifting heavy. I was getting my ass kicked in Muay Thai. I was kicking other people's asses too, don't get me wrong, but I was getting my ass kicked as well. Lots of sparring, lots of just beating my body up, right? And not taking the time to rest. And that had a lot to do with a distorted body image, my disordered eating issues, shame issues. Like there was so much going on there that had me keep going and going and going. And by the time I was in my late 20s, I was in pain everywhere. And that's when yoga came into my life, which I thought was too stereotypical vegan. And I was trying to break the stereotype. So I resisted the yoga for a very long time, but I was kind of said, you know what, I have to take care of myself. So I'm gonna get myself in there. I'm gonna force myself to do it, because when we care about ourselves, we do what's best for our bodies. Even if it's not what we necessarily like, we figure out how to like it. And I think 7 years later, after doing yoga for 7 years, I started to like it. I started to love it, actually. And so now I have a yoga home, a studio here, and it's a fun studio. It's not a serious one. I've done lots of different types of yoga, Ashtanga yoga, and this is just kind of a fun power yoga. And in the summer it's hot because we live in Miami and we don't use air conditioning, but it's fun. We have music, but it's also meditative. It absolutely counts as a moving meditation for me. It is my form of moving meditation. And it's really important to have that opportunity to stretch those muscles that you're breaking down and beating up and working so hard. So find yourself a form of exercise that helps you with the stretching. Self-myofascial release with the foam roller is great. Simply resting, not strength training those muscles that are sore until they've had a chance to recover. Sleep is absolutely important. That's my biggest challenge in my life, is struggling with insomnia still. But sleep is so super important. Rest, sleep, stretching, those types of yoga exercises. Supplemental wise, magnesium is a great one. So, and I think I'm trying to think where I have a link to. There's a spray, a magnesium spray that you can actually spray on your body. You know, your skin's your largest organ, and we absorb, you know, pretty much everything we put on our skin, we absorb it. And this actually allows you to absorb this natural magnesium through your skin. And let's see. And Tiffany said, so a protein shake and a banana after a workout. Perfect. Yes, absolutely. Protein shake and a banana. That works. Yes, I use magnesium. Jill said, Anne said, I tweaked my butt, I'm sorry, left glute, and kept saying to myself that I need to return to yoga. And then what, did you? Is that new, Anne? Because you guys, I actually tore my hamstring, and it's been about, gosh, over 3 months. And that's a pretty serious injury. So I am still recovering from that. And I'm really working on just listening to my body and doing some therapy and doing the best I can without aggravating it, because that's just going to make it take longer and longer to heal. So we got to be kind to ourselves. We got to be able to listen to our bodies. Another big part of the Plant Empowered Coaching Program is getting so in tune with your body that you know what it needs and you give it what it needs. Anti-inflammatory foods, yes. Anne said I use turmeric, ginger, yerba mate for recovery. Absolutely. Yeah, turmeric, get that inflammation down. Fantastic. All right, you guys, I know this is a lot and we've gone over my 30 minutes, but again, even after I finish today, if you have more questions or want to focus on a specific area, just write them in the comments and I'll schedule a Facebook Live specifically on those topics, all right? Anne said, yes, had injury in January, then chiropractor really helped. Then I pushed it too much this past Tuesday, so now I have to rest. Yep, that's what happens. All right, so you guys, I'm so glad that you had so many questions. So glad you guys came and came on with me today. If you're interested in the stuff I'm talking about that we do in the Plant Empowered Coaching Program, the best place to start is attending my masterclass, which I'm offering completely free of charge. This is a foundation of knowledge that you'll help of 5 shifts that you can make to start to move in the direction of a fit, healthy, empowered vegan life that you love, that's sustainable, that brings you joy, that brings you to a place of freedom and abundance and love. Jill can tell you, she's been on many of our Facebook Lives and she'll be back. It's a beautiful thing. And so the best place to start is with that masterclass. There is a link to that as well in the pinned post, and I can put it here in the comments as well. And after that, if that's something that resonates with you, I handpick every client that we bring in. We only work with a handful of people because it's intense, and we work very closely with our clients, and we have group coaching and we have individual coaching, and you know, there's a lot involved, but it's 6 months that will change your life forever. Things never look the same. The world does not look the same. You don't look the same to yourself following this program. Jill said freedom. Yes, that is the word people use. It's freedom. And it's such a beautiful thing. So if the masterclass resonates with you, you'll have an opportunity to actually book what we call a breakthrough session with me to discuss your needs, discuss where you're at, what you want. And if the program, if I'm 100% sure that it's the right fit and that we can get you the outcome that you're looking for, if that's the case, then I can tell you more about the program and offer you a spot possibly. And if it's not the right fit, I'm going to let you know that too and do my best to point you in another direction so that you can get lots of value from the call no matter what. All right, so that's how that works. If you have any questions, write them in the Facebook group. You can message me, but I sometimes miss the Facebook messages when they're from people that aren't my friends because they like kind of hide them. So if I miss that, it's not because I'm ignoring you. If you post it in the Facebook group and tag me, then and even if you say I'm going to send you a private message, do that so that I can make sure to see those, as I do get a lot of messages and I miss some. Does that make sense, you guys? I really hope that this helped clarify a few things for you, gave you some direction to go, and we'll wrap it up then. All right, guys, have a beautiful rest of your Thursday, rest of your week. Yes, I will see you back in the group, and reach out if you have questions. Bye.